about what they're doing with the cars in Paris. How about this? Unmarried people are up to 80% more likely to suffer from depression than those who are actually wed. I'm not sure if that's true, but certainly we've been talking about it this morning, and behaviourists at the Nature of Human Behaviour say depression represents a significant global public health challenge and marital status has been recognised as a potential risk factor. Well, wouldn't you know? And let's talk to Steve Berry, because here's an amazing story, right? From this week, starting, I believe, at midnight tonight, motorists in Paris will be banned from driving through the centre of the city because they've got a mad socialist in charge who makes Sadiq Khan look sensible. Incredible. Steve, what's going on? Good morning.
Yeah, I mean, this has happened in Paris before. I was there a few years ago. I went there in a 70-year-old British car, and I went there to commemorate the fact that we were trying to sell cars to the French. Can you believe it? 70 years ago. Right. But they wouldn't let us drive it into the city. This is just a limited traffic zone that's being put there. Paris has been doing this for a lot longer, and Paris, I think, is the outlier for European cities when it comes to restricting traffic, restricting internal combustion engine vehicles in the city centre. And so we, here in the UK, should probably look at what's happening there and then think, yeah, that's probably what's going to happen here.
Well, I hope not, because apparently it means that you can't actually drive through the city after midnight. Now, I don't know when that is. That's going to last until, but basically it's going to last until the rest of time, presumably. So, what if you own a car and you live in the centre of Paris? What do you do then?
Well, I think you've got to wait until the time of the. I think you've got to wait until the time of the morning that you're allowed to drive the car. Through that part of town where it's been restricted. Right. I mean, look, we're now seeing, Mike, the changes that have been.
By the way, I don't think there is a time, because it says here it's going to be in operation 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So that particular section of Paris is a no-go zone for cars.
Yeah, well, it's like when they extended the ULEZ and people thought, well, surely you won't have to pay if you're already inside the ULEZ, when they extended it to inside the M25. And the fact was, yeah, you will. You will have to pay even if you're in it. This is just another step. I was thinking the other day about motorcycling and the increasing drop in the number of motorcyclists in the UK, and I was thinking what they wanted to do was to ban it outright, but that's not what they do. They do it piecemeal. If they actually and so they made it harder to get a bike license, harder to get insurance, harder to pass the test. They made it in different levels, and this is what they do. They bring it in a bit at a time. What they'd actually like to do is just ban cars completely from every city.
That's the sense you get, because I think this woman Hidalgo, who's the mayor, has she not been got some previous for like charging ludicrous amounts of money for you to park a diesel car or something? You know, like 10 times what it costs to park an electric one. But even electric cars are not allowed in this zone.
Yeah, that's a weird one. That I would have thought that it would have been another step along the way to making electric cars.
No, it looks more like it's another step along the way to pedestrianising the centre of Paris.
Do you know what, though, Mike? I was there right before the Olympics, and they'd more or less pedestrianised it then. Right. They closed off a lot of the streets in the city to traffic. Yeah. I'd just gone in for a few days, didn't have a car, and I must admit, it made it really easy to walk around. But if I lived and worked there, it would have been a colossal pain in the backside. One of the ironies as well I recognised when I was there, like I said, I was there a few days before the Olympics, and they just shut off a lot of the streets to traffic. As I walked past the headquarters of the FIA, the people who regulate motorsport around the world, there were absolutely no cars to be seen in eyesight, and I thought,
It's just bonkers. I mean, you know, it's all very well wanting to have clean air and all the rest of it, but, you know, there's an airport down the road, there's another airport, you know, the other way. You know, there's all sorts of places where you can drive. I just think it's insane. Totally insane. Steve, good to talk to you. Thanks, man. Steve Berry there, former Top Gear presenter. I mean, so basically, you cannot drive in the middle of Paris after midnight tonight. If you live there, you get a special permit to be able to move your car. But basically, you can't go into the place unless you've got a good reason. then you have to prove with receipts why you've gone there. If you've gone shopping, if you've had to go and visit somebody, you have to have a reason, otherwise they're going to fine you. Ridiculous.